What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is April the 11th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before I get into any of that though, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data points, we have two big ones today, PPI, and that's coming out in roughly 30-40 minutes from now. And then Michigan consumer sentiment. Out of the two, the Michigan one is going to be key, and that's coming out at 9 a.m. Over the last four occurrences, that has all been negative, prompting a very aggressive red Friday. Currently, you do have the futures relatively good. So Dow is up 0.58, S&P up 0.61, NASDAQ up 0.82. So a good level of optimism is starting to come back into the market. You have the fear and greed index under the extreme fear category 8, so meaning people's appetite for risk in theory isn't necessarily there, but a lot of stocks that I'm going to be talking on kind of state otherwise. But without further ado, let's get right to the actual stocks. SoFi is up, no news this morning, but then again, when they do drop news, it's usually around that 9 a.m. But the last couple pieces of news from them, they haven't been all that great, just more fluff in my opinion. No real substantial reasons to buy SoFi or anything, but nonetheless, they are piggybacking off the broader market and moving higher. 12.74% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 137.23 million shares. So shorts have been returning, as you can kind of see right here, so that's kind of a good thing, opposite to what I was anticipating. I was really feeling that it was going to get to the 16% range and so forth, but a lot of just weird stuff happening in the broader market. But aside from that, with it at $10.56, it is trading between these 2 points, so this R1 and the pivot. 1169 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. I feel like that won't be hit unless we do have some clarity associated to tariffs. And what I mean by clarity is reductions. Either China or the States comes to some negotiation or some settlement, or just one bends the knee. That's the only way that you'll see 1169 today. Flip side, $10.31 is going to be that next strong support. So just kind of watch for that just in case it does pull back today with that Michigan data. And moving around from here, we have NIO. It is up 2.44%. Big news did drop for them, not just for them, but for Chinese EVs. So it looks like China and the EU are going into some negotiations, and that's just to reduce the overall tariff. So that's good. That should have been had, I think, in like December, but nonetheless, that is very good for Chinese stocks, or EVs, I guess. And this is what caused this nice boost higher when that news did drop yesterday. So again, that's kind of a good thing. Shorts aren't doing anything for them this morning, but 14.71% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 234 million shares. So anticipate them to be fairly active as per usual, and even more so on a Friday. With that 336, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. $3.10 is going to be a strong support. 356 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. I don't see that being touched today, only because 350, there's a lot of manipulation associated to options, and so that could come into play if it does start to move higher. So it might bounce off of this general area and possibly close below that 350, or with the Michigan consumer sentiment, it could just ripple through the whole market and cause a little bit more of a pullback. So we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on is BGLC. So this one is up 37.33% so far this morning. The only thing that they put out for news was this, just saying that on April the 7th, they did a 1-for-10 reverse stock split. Nothing really crazy, if you ask me, based on this to prompt it to go higher. But I do think that this company has a lot of convertible debt, so that's the culprit on why it is going higher. So just be somewhat cautious with this. 9.39% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 116,000 shares overall are being shorted. So this is kind of what the market likes to squeeze on a side note, relatively heavily like kind of shorted-ish, but low float. So this meets that criteria, so something to keep in mind. Aside from all that though, with that 268 trading between this pivot and this S1, so 222 is going to be a strong support. Flip side, $2.90 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. Given the momentum, you could definitely see this pivot point of 290 being touched, and that'd be a pretty good return on investment, a nice day trade. So that might be something to keep in mind. Aside from that, 357, that's if things really start getting going. So again, you could see that happen. And I feel like as well, what is causing it to go green is it did recently have a new 52-week low. So sometimes it does bounce off of a very key support level and usually moves higher based on that. So that could be one attributing factor. Palantir is up so far, just piggybacking off the broader market, but a lot of big money is getting and trading Palantir this morning, as well as I believe it was yesterday. So that does signal to me at least more of a bottoming, because as much as Palantir is a beast, like shorts haven't been a big attributing factor to the downtrend. It's just been institutions. So with institutions starting to get back in, maybe does signal that they see more upside across the board. So Palantir is kind of seen as that benchmark stock, if that kind of makes sense. But 2.51% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 54.43 million shares. I brought this up in the past. Shorts definitely have PTSD. They are scared of Palantir. They don't want to increase it for whatever reason, even though it went down over the last, let's say, 1 month. Actually, it's up over the last 1 month. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about then. Well, obviously Palantir did go down right here. You don't see any shorts increasing during that time frame. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. You don't see any crazy spike, nothing. Like, shorts are afraid. In the past, they have increased, like for instance in September, December, and they lost their asses. So I think that they are now just afraid to increase. Despite all the volatility over the last couple of weeks, they've been doing nothing but return. So very interesting kind of stuff. With that $89.10, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 85.71 will be a strong support. It kind of hit that yesterday, so that's something to consider if data does come in negative. Flip side, 94.73 is going to be the next on target / resistance, which very well could be touched as well. So it's kind of smack dab right in the middle there. So just watch for those points. And then moving on, ticker is VERO. So this one is and did go down 54% yesterday, up 14.53% this morning. Reason why they are up is because they put out an 8K, and I feel like that just incentivized some buying. This 8K just showed that they entered into an SPA on April the 9th, and it doesn't actually give any new information. It's just highlighting a lot of the terms and conditions of that, and just a general highlight of everything that they have done. So I don't really see this being a good reason to buy the stock whatsoever. Market cap is 2.88 million, so I'm sure if they just brought up that they are having this like salad for lunch, for instance, I'm sure that alone would cause the stock price to go higher. So this might be tempting to get in, but I would probably avoid this one. But 32.93% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 176,000 shares overall are being shorted. Again, this probably is the biggest attributing factor, is the fact that it is a short squeeze stock, very low float, so it does meet the criteria that the market does like to move higher and trade. But with it right now at $4.37, it is trading between these 2 points, so this R3 and R2. 410 is going to be a strong support. Flip side, 475 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So this stock, you can definitely swing trade it. Just watch for a lot of the support levels and kind of it bouncing off of them. But generally, this is one stock that I probably would avoid. But then again, what do I know? So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that's floating your boat? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.